You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have got your Young and the Restless comings and goings update. There are two old faces back soon. Not actually old, although they are both older. And those are Veronica Redd and Michael Damian. And we've got a new character played by a Y&R alum and a new cameo that's tied to a key front burner cast member. It's a bring your mom to work thing, and it's so freaking cute. We're going to dig into this all in 1 second, but if you haven't already, please reach down and click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates. So Hayley Erin debuts as Claire Grace, last name TBD. I suspect Grace doesn't seem, I realize that Grace can be a last name, but Claire Grace sounds like a first and middle name. I would love if her last name was, I don't know, maybe McCall. I'm fine with her being a McCall. She just cannot be a Newman or an Abbott. We need more single females that are not in one of those two legacy gene pool families. She could be a Fenmore. I'd be okay with that. I'd personally prefer her to be a McCall, because that would be a whole big ball of fun if Tucker had another secret kid. We know he was banging groupies all over the place when he was managing bands. That's how he wound up with Devon, right? So surely he could have banged somebody else. I think that would just be wild if she was Tucker's kid. So we know that she's going to be working at Newman Media. So maybe she is Tucker's spawn and his spy, and his next target after Jabot is Newman. You never know. I'm hoping that she might be Kyle Abbott's rebound. I'm real excited about this because if you don't know who Hayley Erin is, she is a dynamite actress. She used to play Abby Newman back when Abby was like 14. I think she was on the soap for, it was longer than a year, maybe like a year and a half. And then they aged her up and Mel Ordway came in, and then Hayley wound up over at General Hospital. She's been on Pretty Little Liars, Perfectionist, and a ton of other stuff. She is a top-notch little actress. You guys are going to love her. All right, so also next week, Michael Damian is back as Danny. What's funny about this is I just don't know if Josh Griffith was in the writer's room going, oh, this is going to be so awesome. I'm going to bring back Danny, and it's going to be this love triangle, this classic love triangle with Red and the Bug, and fans are going to go nuts. Fans are not going nuts. Fans are yawning and already saying they don't want to see this. I literally 85.7% of the feedback I've seen on this, just people are not happy because when they listed off what the plot is going to be, it just sounds like a big steamy pile of rehash from like the 90s. I hope it's not. I hope that they've written something clever, but yeah, okay. I'll just leave it there. So also next week, Veronica Redd is back as Mamie. That is far more interesting to me. I hope she is the one that bought those Chancellor Winters shares from Victor, and I hope she is about to give Jill Abbott's chain a hard yank. And this is a flashback too. This is a blast from the past, back when like the mid to late 80s when Jill paid her to leave town. So I think it's interesting, and I definitely am interested to see this Mamie and Jill showdown. And I'm excited about Jess Walton coming back in person because I'm certain she is. I don't think this is going to be something that they do over video chat. That would be really weird, but you never know. You never know. Nick Newman is back at least by Wednesday the 27th because that's when we have a spoiler for him, and I know he's not back on Monday the 25th. So maybe we'll see him on Tuesday, but we definitely see him on Wednesday the 27th. He has got scenes with Victoria. She's trying to enlist him in some sort of scheme. I'm sure it's to take down Victor, and hopefully Nick tells her just to kick rocks and leave him alone. An interesting spoiler for his return is that the week of October 2nd, Sally makes a confession to him. I feel like she, at a minimum, is going to tell him that she had dinner with Adam because she knows he'd probably hear about it otherwise. But I do wonder, because Sally seemed to be setting very firm parameters with Adam, because on Monday's episode, Monday the 25th, he's like, oh, that kiss was so great. I'm not pressuring you, but but I still love you and I still want to be with you and I don't think you should be with Nick. And then he goes on, he pressures her and he pushes too far and he really annoys her. And she's like, look, I'm with Nick. You need to stop. So I just wonder if Sally might confess to Nick just in case somebody saw them and just because she's trying to be very honest with him, but also maybe so that Nick will, because she knows he's going to react. He's going to do his big puffy toad thing and he's going to come and he's going to confront Adam. And maybe she thinks that'll create some distance and it'll get Adam to take a step back. I don't think it will. I don't know. All right. And our very last comings and goings update has to do with Mark Grossman and it is super fun. I'm going to let you know all about it in 1 second. But if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates. Click a like if you're enjoying this casting update. And also drop your comments on who you're excited to see back and what you'd like to see happening with like Hayley Erin's new character, Claire. And also, I want to hear your thoughts on this next tidbit. So Mark's mother, her name is Patricia Grossman. She came to visit her darling boy up at work at the Y&R set. And he brought her to the set just to see him at work. And then they put her to work as an extra in some scenes at Crimson Lights with Phyllis and Danny and kind of in the background. So I've got a couple of pictures that you're probably already seeing at this point in the video. She is supposed to appear on October 24th, and it's so sweet that she showed up to work and they put her in some scenes. And there's a little behind the scenes video thing that I saw where she was joking around with one of the production assistant or somebody that was kind of telling her where to stand and what to do. And she was joking around asking if she could have one of the cookies from the Crimson Lights display. I wonder if that food is even edible or if it's just a permanent display. Like, isn't it like Denny's or one of those or Shoney's that has like the food under the glass case and it's just like fake food that's been there for decades. So I feel like that's probably what the Crimson Lights food might be like. You probably don't want to eat it. All right. That is the entirety of my Young and the Restless Comings updates for this week. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Drop your comments below. I love your comments. I read them all. Thanks for listening. This has been Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.